what's up? It's the D Train, Daniel Ehrenberg, and we're talking about a couple movies. I related a lot to the character. I'm a bit of a creep myself. So we're doing Creep and Creep Two, and that's what P dot another P dot recommendation, his last ever, and let's. I mean, not because I didn't like it, just because we don't really do that anymore. But let's bring in Logan Adair, my co-host. What's up, Logan?
Hey guys, what's going on?
He's got a sty on his eyelid right now. It's kind of a bummer.
Yep, the right one. Imagine it. That's what I'm going through.
Yeah, he saw Avatar: The Way of Water yesterday in theaters. Did you see it in IMAX?
Oh yeah, IMAX 3D, as Tim recommended. Sat there with a sty. Enjoyed it though.
Yeah, the blue giant aliens did it
come
for
on,
you.
come on. Let's talk about Creep.
Come
Mark
on.
Duplass.
All
There's
right.
not an ounce of blue on that guy.
No, I wouldn't think so. So, Creep, I'd never seen these movies before, but they're pretty popular because they're just on Netflix. Like I know, like most people I know had seen them, I think. But so Logan, you had seen the first movie, and when I was doing my research for my gotcha journalism on our Friday Patreon episode, hey, I'm watching here, I noticed that you had given the first movie, at least, I didn't remember this. I don't remember what you gave the second movie, but the first movie you gave a 5.
Both of them.
Both of them. So
Yep.
why don't you start us off here? Like, what's the significance of these movies?
Well, when I saw these, I sort of took like a little bit of ownership over them because I saw them. I saw the first one when it came out in 2015 or whatever on Netflix, and I was like,
How
"Whoa,
can
this
you
is a."
take ownership over a Netflix movie? Like this day it comes out, millions of people are watching it.
But not a lot of people had seen it yet. Like when Creep 2 came out, it wasn't like the phenomenon that it was. And then Creep 2 came out and people were like, "Whoa, you got to check out these Creep movies." But at the time they weren't. And so when I saw Creep, I was like, "Whoa, it was a cool movie. These two guys just like made a movie and it's like cool. It's like the cool idea. It works." I thought. And so I loved it. And I was excited for the second one and that came out and I loved it just as much. So what do you want from me?
I don't want anything from you, Logan. That's exactly what I wanted from you.
All
Just a
right.
little explanation. You don't have to get combative over everything I ask you on this show. Not
Okay.
everything's gotcha journalism.
Well, you set it up that way. So
No, not at all. I mean, I just because that's when I saw it.
okay.
Yeah. By the way, if you're not listening, if you're not paying $5 a month and listening to "Hey, I'm watching here," you're doing something wrong.
Yeah, you can
Yeah.
listen to D Train talk about Armageddon time like this week.
That's right. You can hear me get angry over anti-Semitism. That's a weekly segment at this point. All right. Logan, Creep. Let's talk about it. The first one, it's very small production. I couldn't even find a budget on this.
Yeah, you can't really find much about it.
Yeah, I couldn't even find out how like the director met Mark Duplass because it's a
Yeah.
first time filmmaker, Patrick Bryce. And by the way, I found out that I had seen another movie he made,
Which one?
The Overnight.
Okay, is that a second one?
Yeah, he did those between the Creep movies with Jason Schwartzman and Adam Scott and two ladies. I can't remember who the ladies are in that movie. That's kind of a bad thing, but
Yeah.
whatever. But I loved that movie. I thought it was
Loved
great.
it.
Yeah, I gave it a 4,
Okay.
and I was pretty impressed by it because it's a comedy, but there's this like underlying element of menace to it, like shit can go dark quick.
All
Um,
right.
and that's kind of what it's sort of the same tone of Creep. Like it leans a little more towards horror.
And this one's called Creep, so you know, like if this was called like Craigslist time, then you wouldn't be like, oh, this is a horror movie immediately.
I hope they do make a horror movie called Craigslist Time. That'll really shock people, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, but you know the original title of the movie was Peach Fuzz.
Yes, I did. I didn't know that. Right.
Yeah,
But yeah.
but I guess that like element is introduced kind of late, and they didn't want people just sitting there wondering what the fuck that means.
Right. Good call.
Yeah, I kind of think so too. Creep's a better title. Um, so Patrick Bryce, from what I can gather, was like a real small time documentarian, like sending documentary shorts and shit out to film festivals. And Duplass was just so heavily ensconced in the indie world in like the late aughts and early tens, because the Duplass brothers were like godfathers of mumblecore cinema and
Puffy
shit.
Chair. You love that one, right?
I was a big Duplass brothers fan, dude. Like their early stuff, like
So why didn't you
Puffy
watch
Chair
this?
especially.
Because of the franchise? I mean, Henry had seen
No.
them.
I I don't really have an answer for you, to be honest. I just thought it was like a vanity project.
Why? What?
I don't know. I hear like it's a horror movie. It's Mark Duplass and one other dude you've never heard of. I'm like, that does like I like Mark Duplass, but he's got so much shit that he works on. Like I don't know how much of it I need to watch.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah, and he wasn't. I also didn't realize that he was so involved creatively, because it's solely credited to Patrick Bryce as director, but it seems to me that the movie was almost entirely improvised, and so like they both were there coming up with every scene of this movie.
There's no writing credits. They both have a story credit though. So
Right.
I do feel like basically it was mostly improvised. And the
Yeah.
second one, I think they both wrote it, right? So there is somewhat of a script.
Well, yeah, the first one apparently was so improvised to the point where like they thought it was going to be a little bit more of a comedy, and then they started like showing an edited version to their friends, and they were like, "You should pitch this more to the horror element. It's scary."
There is like this sort of like impending. You don't know what's going on. I feel like if it's a comedy, I don't know what this is.
Well, I think if you watch The Overnight, you'll kind of get the sense
All
of
right.
what it maybe would have been. But yeah, this definitely. I mean, certainly the second one is pitched way more towards horror or like psychological character study, even.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's that much scarier.
No, I don't mean scarier.
Or-
I just mean like that's what it's leaning towards. Like it's not as funny as the first one.
But the first one the second one you already know who the guy is, so there's not really that sense of like, is this guy gonna murder? I mean, he doesn't murder her, but you know in the second one that he is a serial killer, and in the first one you don't really know that. So I feel like the first one is much more tense and scary.
You don't know he's a serial killer, but I know that he is a killer. Like I knew from
You see it.
the moment he shows up in the movie, I'm like, oh, that dude's killing the other dude.
So you knew he wasn't getting out of this. Well, you knew there's a second one. So.
I kind of thought he wouldn't get out of the house, but
Oh yeah.
he does. Like there's more. There's like 20 minutes tacked on to the end of the movie where he's at home and then gets killed.
It's sort of like halfway through.
Is it?
Yeah, kind of. He spends a lot of time at home.
I'm gonna give you a disclaimer about this franchise. I vastly preferred the second one.
Really?
Yeah.
I honestly didn't really expect that.
Yeah, I don't know. Like to me, I feel like people either like him about the same or like the first one more. But the first one bothered me. Like it bothered me too much. Like, all right, hear me out. It's a found footage horror film, which I didn't know, by the way. Oh, what are you sipping on, bro?
Some water.
Oh, okay.
So okay.
I turned this movie on yesterday, and it was found footage. And I turned to Dallas, my girlfriend. I was like, "Is it just like this? It's a found footage movie?" She was like, "Yeah, you know that." But so right away, I'm okay with found footage horror movies, though. That doesn't put me off. I like screen horror movies. I like.
You hate
found
the Blair
footage.
Witch Project.
I don't hate the Blair Witch Project. It's just not a fucking 5. All right, Logan.
You say so?
Yeah, I do say so. So like, I'm generally okay with it, but the complaint people often have about found footage horror movies is there are too many moments where it's just like, why wouldn't he put the fucking camera down?
Yes, I have it. That's a complaint for me at one specific moment.
And I'm usually able to put that out of my mind. Paranormal Activity sort of gets away with it because it's like security cameras in their house almost. But
Yeah, they're trying to catch a ghost, right?
Yeah, they want to see a ghost on camera, right? But what's another found footage horror movie?
You ever see VHS?
No, I never did.
Oh, those would be great.
Shit,
Um,
I should have looked this up before.
Those unfriended friend requests.
Those are screen horror though.
Yeah,
I can buy that too. Okay, here's one: The Visit, the M. Night Shyamalan movie.
Yeah. Well, she's making a documentary.
I know. See, they all have something like that where it's like you can sort of, if you can put aside, if you can really give into your suspension of disbelief, you can accept it. Or the other one is that Hell House LLC. Those movies, kind of the same thing. I think
those movies. Have you seen the second one?
I have not. I've only seen the first one.
Okay. But I feel like in the Paranormal Activity sequels, they get like, what? Why are you doing that right now? Like they start to make less sense there. The reasonings get a little worse.
Yeah, I certainly felt that way about like the Paramount Plus one from like a year or two ago.
Oh, that was really bad.
Yeah, but I don't think I can ever remember feeling that way as much as I did watching the first Creep movie. Because he's not making a documentary for himself. He's been hired as a videographer by Mark Duplass. And he's played by the director, Patrick Bryce, by the way, our protagonist. You
got a problem with that?
I think of the three main actors in these two movies, he's the weakest.
By the way, Cha Cha Real Smooth. Yeah. Big recommend.
Oh, holy shit. Listen.
I know. I fucking loved it. Dude.
Here, I gotta put aside my preconceptions about people. Because what happens is I read about a new director, right? And then I Google them. And if they're too attractive, I don't watch the movie. Because I don't believe that attractive people have creative talent.
Patrick Bryce isn't unattractive. He's pretty attractive.
Yeah. And Mark Duplass is pretty attractive too, to be honest.
We didn't direct this.
Yeah, I know.
Did he direct The Puffy Chair?
He wrote and directed and starred in The Puffy Chair, yes.
All right.
Yeah, I wondered if he would have taken a director credit, but he just directs with his brother, so he wanted to give Bryce like sole credit, support this guy's career. It's also not the only time he's worked with a first-time filmmaker. Duplass is like very supportive of the world of independent cinema. Like that movie.
He seems cool.
I remember when The One I Love came out. Do you know that movie?
I've heard of that, yeah.
It's like him and Elizabeth Moss, and I was like, who fucking made this?
Cool poster, right?
Yeah,
like
very
just,
cool
like,
poster.
Standing there.
Well, they're in water and it's reflecting.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I just remember like who the fuck is this dude? And it was nobody. It was first time filmmaker. That always blows my mind. But so yeah, I tend to look up directors, and if they're too attractive, I won't watch the movie. And I realized watching the second movie, I looked up Desiree Akhavan, who's like the main actress in Creep 2. And, she's a filmmaker as well.
Okay.
All right. She did, I don't remember her first film's called, but her second one was The Miseducation of Cameron Post with Chloe Grace Moretz. Did you see that?
No. Did I see that?
I don't know. It was a movie. I remember it getting buzz. But
I didn't see it.
I didn't see it. When it got buzz, dude, I had never heard of Desiree Akhavan. I Googled her. She's fucking smoking hot.
Yeah.
And I was like,
I should have remembered that you'd love her.
Yeah. And I didn't watch the movie because of that.
Wait, you didn't watch this because of that?
I didn't watch The Miseducation of Cameron Post because I found the filmmaker too attractive.
What about... All right, whatever.
I don't believe that attractive people have creative talent. I think that you know, the ones
Channing
that
Tatum
do.
directed Dog. Did a hell of a job.
I mean, he co-directed it.
He did co-direct it, but
Come
still,
on, listen. All I'm saying is Tatum. He wrote all 3 Magic Mike movies. I mean, I haven't seen the third one yet. Obviously, it's not out yet. But he wrote the first 2. First one's directed by Steven Soderbergh. It's great. Second one isn't. It's not.
so Mike wasn't the magic sauce there.
The sauce is Steven Soderbergh, a weird-looking, ugly dude. That's who makes
He's
movies.
He's not that ugly. I'll defend Steven.
Oh, please.
Oh,
I mean, he
please
does.
yourself.
He
Come
did
on.
get a hot lady wife. He married Jules Asner, who I used to have a crush on when she was an anchor on E! News Daily.
Wow. I made a list of Blumhouse pictures. You want it or no?
What, you rank them?
No, I didn't rank them. I just made like what they did up until then. But by the way, I did want to say I've seen 2 2023 movies, both Blumhouse pictures. Megan or Mithrigan and Sick.
Yeah, I've seen both those too.
Both made by Blumhouse.
Well, Blumhouse is ridiculously prolific at this point. They do a lot of TV. They do a lot of streaming. They had this weird project with Hulu a couple years ago where like every month they would make a themed horror movie for that month. So like
Wow,
November,
cool.
it was like Thanksgiving time.
I
don't
like
know.
that.
Yeah, I remember Henry watched all of them.
They did have one of the worst movies of last year, The Black Phone.
I don't know. I wouldn't even call that one of the worst movies of last year. I mean, it was a hit.
I'm not saying they don't make hits. I'm saying that The Black Phone was bad.
I didn't like it either, but I feel like we can't ding him for that one because it made so much money.
All right.
It was
By
like
the way,
that was a breakout fucking hit.
Blumhouse made, listen to these 3 movies: Whiplash, Get Out, Black Klansman. That's pretty good.
I think Blumhouse invested in a couple of those movies. I don't think they're like specifically Blumhouse. I feel like Whiplash was produced by Megan Ellison for Annapurna Pictures. I might be wrong about that.
Okay, remember Sinister?
Yeah.
We could do that. There's Sinister 2.
There's a lot of Blumhouse movies that I've only seen the first one of.
Ouija?
I haven't seen any of those.
Yeah, you haven't seen any of those.
Ouija. I remember years ago.
Happy Death Day?
Happy Death Day. Yeah, I've only seen the first one.
Truth or Dare? Oh, they only made one of those, right?
Dude, they gotta make a second Truth or Dare. I fucking love Truth or Dare.
They made all the new Halloween films.
The new ones. Yeah. The David Gordon Green ones, yes.
Freaky? That was alright.
There's no sequel to that, is there?
No, I'm just naming movies now. Us, The Invisible Man, The Hunt.
I thought Freaky was poorly made, but I liked things about it. The Hunt. Yeah. The Hunt was fun. Well, The Hunt's a fuck rich people movie, so I like all those.
Yeah, but it's like very heavily fuck rich people. It's like there's no subtlety in that, especially like the last 15
I don't
minutes.
need subtlety in a movie like that, and I'll tell you why. Because fuck rich people.
Just try a little harder.
I don't care. I liked that movie.
I liked it too.
I think I gave it a 4.
Me too, probably, but my ratings are bullshit, as we all know. So.
Yeah, but mine aren't.
Right. So yeah. So all right.
Yeah. Listen, now we know that yours are because I did some great gotcha journalism. Check it out.
Yeah.
All right.
By the way, they did Split and Glass.
Yeah, they work with Shyamalan. Are they doing Knock at the Cabin? Oh my god, how excited am I for Knock at the Cabin?
I'm pumped, personally.
Bro, Batista in a cabin.
Shyamalan's back. He's just like making movies
FYI,
all the time.
Shyamalan's back. He's been back, I think, since like 2015. The Visit, that was his big comeback.
The Visit sort of rules.
The Visit sort of rules, except for the kid rapping, and then he followed that up, I think, with Split, which fucking rules.
Oh yeah.
The dude.
But then Glass.
Listen, Glass sucks, sure, but like, what about Old?
Old, that's fun.
That's a fun movie, yeah.
Oh yeah, lots of yeah. That's a great ride if you've never seen Old. Check it out.
Gang, I have an announcement to make. M. Night's back.
Sound the alarm. Ring the bell from the village. Isn't there a big bell that you ring when you see those red hooded figures?
I think you're right.
Ring that bell.
Yeah, but I'll tell you what. Don't climb over the fence. Certainly don't go into a gas station. All right.
What?
That's where she goes, right?
In the village?
Yeah. Isn't that how she
Where?
finds out the big twist?
I thought they go to like. She does?
She escapes, doesn't she? And she ends
Maybe
up
she
as,
like runs to a police department or something. I don't remember exactly.
something. I think it's like a convenience store.
Maybe
I
you're
could
right.
listen, gang. I could be wrong about this. I'd only seen The Village once, but
Wow.
you know
Pretty
who
good movie.
you know who loves The Village?
Who?
Me.
You really do?
Yeah, I do. I fucking love The Village.
Yeah.
To
good
me,
movie.
Shyamalan didn't lose it until
Lady in the Water. Yeah.
Yeah, I like The Village. So Lady in the Water. Why are we talking about M. Night Shyamalan? Then Afterlife and Last Airbender.
After
like those,
Earth.
That's what I meant.
Afterlife?
That's what I meant. After Earth. Those all below. But then
Yeah,
he got it
I
back,
agree.
baby. He's back. All right.
He's back.
Bryson Duplass. Let's talk about it. This film, it debuted at South by Southwest in March of 2014, and then it wasn't released wide until over a year later, on June 23rd, 2015. You were checking it out on Netflix, weren't you?
Oh yeah, the day it came out. No, I don't think of that day.
You had some ownership over it. Remember when I watched that documentary on Netflix and I was the first review on Letterboxd?
Yeah, what was that? Which one was that? Was that like a sick boat or something?
Yeah, it was called Hell of a Cruise.
Hell of a Cruise. You were
About that
number
like
one
cruise
review.
ship during COVID that like they weren't letting passengers off of.
For a while too, for like 7 hours. You were the only review.
Yeah, I don't know why. I thought people were gonna be excited about that movie.
You were the only one.
watched
You were
it.
in line. You got there early. You were the only one. That's happened. I worked at a movie theater. You'd get people that would show up like 45 minutes early. Like we're gonna have to like wait in line for this, and it's like no, like no one's waiting for like the third week of Blade Runner 2049. What are you doing?
Well, they should
That's
know
you.
that the fucking third week. I was watching it the day it came out. I thought people would be waiting for this bad boy.
No.
All right. Listen, they. I mean, what more is there to say? They improvised the movie. I said that it was going to be more comedy, but then it turned out more horror. The film is so Bryce plays a videographer in this movie. All right, and Duplass hires him. Is it off Craigslist?
You have to assume because the second one is right.
Yeah, it's explicitly stated Craigslist in the second one, but I don't think we ever find out. Like he's just like it's an ad somewhere.
It starts out he's driving on his way. He's just like, well, on my way to do it.
Right, and he's already filming himself, which I don't really get.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Like that, I just
Especially
had
because-
too many complaints like that in this movie.
Because the guy talks to him and he's like, are you like hurting for money? He's like, like everybody struggles, but I'm doing okay. So I feel like this guy is a videographer often. Like he probably gets paid often to do videography jobs. So if it was like his
but
first
if you're a
time,
videographer, you don't have money.
okay. But if this was like his first time doing it, I get if you'd like film in the car, like first time doing a job, like a freelance job. But if he does this often, why? Yeah, this would just be like any other job. Why is he
And you
filming
can
himself?
sort of convince yourself later once he starts getting creeped out by the dude, and like then you can say like, well, he's probably filming to protect himself. Like he'll show this to the cops if any shit goes down.
Well, also
But-
if you're there and the guy's like, hey, why aren't you filming? Like, and you're like, oh yeah.
But what about this, Logan? What about when he's trying to get his keys out of Mark Duplass falls asleep. He drugs him. Benadryl in the wine. Pretty good move. No, whiskey, actually. And
This is my complaint, too, I think.
and then Duplass passes out. The dude can't find his keys. And so he goes, it's like one of those scenes where it's like, oh, I got to go through his clothes really carefully. Yeah. And he's filming it. I'll tell you, you can look through his clothes more carefully if you don't have a fucking giant camera in one hand.
Okay, no. I don't have a problem with that because the camera there is just like sitting on the little like coffee table that's looking at him. He's not like holding the camera while reaching into
Okay,
his
but what about
pockets.
right after that when the phone rings, he runs into the bathroom, he gets that
takes
call.
the camera with him. What the fuck is this dude doing? If you're like supposed to trying to be like chill, not making any noise. The guy's phone rings. Immediately, you should answer that phone, click answer or decline so it's not ringing, and just get away. Why is he picking up the camera?
Absolutely. And even if you answer it, run to the bathroom, leave the fucking camera, because if Duplass wakes up, he sees the camera there, he just thinks you're taking a piss.
Yeah, another great point.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was my biggest complaint, was when he takes it to answer the phone call.
Did you know that the lady who plays, first of all,
I did know that. Yes. When I
well,
looked
yeah,
at it.
the sister on the phone call is Duplass's wife, Katie Aselton, a fine actress. She's also in The Puffy Chair.
Oh.
But and she was a regular on The League. Well, I think they both were, weren't they? I never watched that.
I never saw that.
Yeah.
It's about a fantasy football league, right? My brother saw that.
Yeah, I watched the pilot. I should have watched it, right? It's like Duplass, Nick Kroll, Paul Scheer. They're all good.
Yeah, Jason Mantzoukas, right? He's in that.
Yeah, and that one dude who lied about being in 9/11.
Who is that?
Steve Ranazizi.
Oh, I do vaguely remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, he said that.
Why would you lie about that? That is the dumbest thing anyone ever did.
Well, listen, you don't.
What do you get out of
it?
that?
It was working. It was working.
Like
There's
free
very
meals?
few records of who was in the World Trade Center that escaped that day, bro. So Ranazizi, he's a struggling comedian. He's like, well, that gives me a little hook. What if I escaped 9/11, the day of 9/11?
Opens lots of doors for jokes. You could tell your 9/11 jokes.
And honestly, I think he would still be getting away with it today. His conscience aided him. Fucking conscience.
He admitted it himself?
Yeah, he admitted himself.
No
one found that shit out.
Wasn't there.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
And I mean, like, he delivered. I heard him on Mark Maron's podcast talking.
Oh my God, Mark Maron! I saw Mark Maron in a movie this week.
I know.
Oh,
to Leslie, I saw that you
crushed it.
tweeted at him. Jesus, what is with you?
I did that sort of as a joke because everyone's like, "Oh, Andrea, whatever her name is
Riseborough."
So I said, "No, Mark, you did a good job."
All right, more on that.
Take some pride in that, Mark, because I thought you crushed it, and I really did. I thought it was really great.
He's great and everything. More on that this Friday. Hey, I'm watching.
You should watch it.
Should I?
Yeah, watch it.
All right. Who did it? Who made it?
Andrea Rice?
No, she's the star of it. Who directed it?
I don't know.
How attractive are they on a scale of 1 to 10?
I think if this one was a real Uggo made this one.
Oh, then I'm fucking in, bro.
This is like Peter Jackson's ugly
You know who's
cousin.
talented? Ugly people. Wait, no, you're wrong. I looked this dude up. He's handsome.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
She might be the son. Like, she has a son, and it's probably him. Just kidding. It's probably not that guy.
I don't know. Anyway, to Leslie. Maybe I'll check it out.
Pretty good movie.
All right, so
2 hours long.
Duplass hires him ostensibly because he's dying. He's been given 2 to 3 months to live.
Or so we think. Dun, dun, dun.
That's why I said ostensibly. That's what that word means.
Oh, really? I thought that means like basically.
No. I think well, maybe you're right. I think it means like
apparently?
On the surface. Yeah, apparently.
Okay, all right.
But he's not dying. He claims he's dying. He has a brain tumor and he's going to die in 2 to 3 months. And his wife, Angela, is preg. And they're having a baby named Buddy. And he wants to film like a day in his life of a love letter to Buddy. Right?
You fucking nailed it. I do want to bring up something before we even got to that point, though. I want to sort of flag up all the jump scares that we get, because there are a ton that I didn't really remember. Immediately, as soon as he gets there, he's in his car, he walks up to the house, sees that axe or whatever, comes back down, gets in his car, he's looking around. Immediately, Mark Duplass jump scare. So
yeah, there's a lot of that. Because Duplass is kind of unhinged in these movies, and a lot of it is just sort of like, what's with this guy at first? And part of that is like he likes to scare you. Like there's that moment in the woods, like he runs away into the woods and then jumps out at the guy.
Yeah, for no reason really.
I think the reason is he's a serial killer.
Oh, okay. Have you ever seen the movie My Life? He references My Life.
I got news for you. I had it on a list a while back to watch, and it wasn't streaming anywhere.
So you just scrapped it.
Yeah, but I remember my parents saw it in theaters. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure about that
What
because
were their
I
thoughts?
remember them talking about it. I think it was a movie people liked at the time because it's like, you know what? I remember my dad saying it was like easy though. Like I remember him saying Keaton takes easy roles, like because he was in Clean and
Oh,
Sober as an alcoholic, and then he was in that as a dude who's dying, and he's like anyone could like that performance.
wow.
But
Had it
I
out
don't
for Keaton.
necessarily agree with that because I think he said the same shit about Nicolas Cage in Leaving Las Vegas, and that's like an incredible performance that I don't think many people could pull off. I mean, especially after being an alcoholic, like, but yeah, I mean, my dad's kind of dumb. Let's move on from
No.
that.
Well, Henry gave this the 3.
My Life,
My Life.
yeah. Well, it
He
got
liked it.
people liked it at the time. I think Keaton had Oscar buzz, if not nominated for an Oscar. Let's find out. My Life.
All right, little award bros.
Yeah, little award bros.
What
Who
year is
else
that?
is
Do
in
you know?
this? Nicole Kidman, 1993. Written and directed by Bruce Joel Rubin, the dude who wrote Ghost. So this was his big chance as a director. And no noms.
The
But
movie
I
got no
but
noms.
no noms, but I remember it getting buzz at the time. People liked it.
Okay.
Queen Latifah's in it. That makes me more likely to watch it someday. Because
Is
I
that
love
joke?
I love the Queen. She's the star of the Equalizer TV show. You know I watch every ep.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I don't actually. Okay. So they're filming at Duplass's cabin, which later turns out to be a rental. And I mean, what do? That first,
They hang out and be bros together. It's a great friendship movie.
but is it like Duplass wants to be this guy's friend for sure, but I never got this. Like Duplass is creepy right away.
He
I never,
scares him. The first thing he does is jump scare.
but even past that, the second thing he does is get into a fucking tub naked in front of the guy and start filming this weird sequence where his imaginary son is in the bathtub with him. It's fucking insane.
Yeah, we don't see the naked part until the second one though.
I was annoyed by that because I'll tell you what, my girlfriend was like, Duplass hangs dong in this first one.
Oh, she got it mixed up.
She got it mixed up, yeah. And so I was waiting the whole movie for that dong to show up. Never did. But you didn't have to wait long in the second one, so that was nice.
No, like 8 minutes in, you get dong.
You know I'm a fan of dong. You gotta have more dick in movies. It's crazy that you don't see more dick in movies. You see ladies naked constantly.
Yeah, I just saw
Constantly.
Kimmy. You see Zoe Kravitz boobs.
I just watched Bardo, or what was the shitty title of that movie?
The Unexpected Virtue of
Or
Ignorance.
no, I think it's False Chronicle of a Handful of Truths.
The Revenant's just The Revenant, right?
Yeah, The Revenant's a good title. I mean, not a good movie, but a good title. But so I watched this new
Who's naked in that
Inarritu, and like the main character's wife comes out like full frontal, looking fucking stacked. And and then like they get into bed together. I'm like, all right, I think I'm gonna see this dude's dong. No dong.
Does he pitch a tent?
No, you don't even see shit.
Jesus.
He puts his leg over himself like he's fucking John Lennon in a bed with fucking Yoko Ono. I feel like I've seen John Lennon's dong more than I've seen this dude. So
Wow.
I'll tell you what, I'm proud of this Bryce guy because I've seen The Overnight, like I said, and there's dong in that movie too.
Which one? Adam Scott?
Scott.
No, you're kidding.
It's a fake dong
Oh.
because it's supposed to be really small, but still, it's a penis in a movie. I like to see a penis in a movie.
Wow. So okay, interesting. So what do you do when the penis is supposed to be small? You like tuck everything and then put the small one on for the shot?
I think maybe they might have used a prosthesis over his actual penis or something.
But where does your penis go while you're putting
Oh,
a
that's a
smaller
good
one? That's what I
question.
mean.
It's probably a tuck job. You're probably right about that.
Wow, Adam Scott. I'd like to know.
Adam,
If there's an AMA. let's
and
ask him that.
FYI, Adam Scott, I've seen his actual dong.
Are you serious?
Yeah, because there's a scene in Tell Me You Love Me, which was a show he was on for one season on HBO, where Sonia Walger from Lost just straight up gives him a hand job, and you see Adam Scott come.
What?
Yeah.
Right. I'll take
So
your word
check
for
out
it.
Tell Me You Love Me. Might still be over there on HBO Max.
All right.
And I'll tell
Check
you
it
what,
out.
Adam Scott, not exactly a Max, but certainly not a Min either. All right?
Good. That's
Yeah.
good.
All right. So they do the tub shit, which creeped me out. Then Duplass introduces him to his friendly wolf character, Peach Fuzz.
Yeah. Love Peach Fuzz.
That was another jump scare when he opens up the closet
yeah.
to get a jacket, and the that mask is there.
Yeah,
The
pretty
wolf
freaky mask.
I mean, it's not creepy, like, out of context. Like, if I saw this in a store, I wouldn't think it was a creepy mask, but, like,
It's pretty creepy.
some weirdo wearing it, it becomes
It's like
creepy.
a sadistic wolf.
I guess so.
It's not a friendly wolf. I mean, the way he says he's friendly.
You also see he has an axe outside.
Yeah, that's the first thing he sees when he gets there. He walks up to that door and he sees the axe and he's like, oh, nothing to see here.
Yeah, he's too accepting of so much.
Yeah, really. I mean, we'll get to what happens later.
Yeah. So they go out, do some stuff. They go through the woods. They find a waterfall with a heart engraved. And
I had a question.
Tell me.
When Aaron, Patrick Bryce, the director, his character, gets there, he's in a yellow car. You can see it from when he's inside the car. You can see like the yellow. And then they drive to that heart-shaped lake, right? And Mark Duplass, Joseph, is driving his car. Why is Aaron letting this random stranger drive his car?
I assume because Aaron has to be filming at this point.
Why?
Because they're filming the entire day. They're like, Duplass is saying shit as he's driving.
I guess I understand that's the reasoning, but
is there a thing where
in the passenger seat?
Do people not like? What do you mean?
Mark Duplass could he not film himself in the passenger seat? Wow.
Yeah, I guess he could. He does pick up the camera a bunch of times in the movie.
Yeah, surely.
Yeah. Listen, there's holes to be poked all throughout this film, and I'll tell you what, the second one doesn't have these holes.
All right.
Yeah. All right. So they go to a diner. It's very nice. Oh, what happens at the diner? Something creepy.
What happens at the diner? Oh, he shows him like, I took pictures of you when you first got here. That's creepy stuff.
He like apologizes for it. And then after all of that, they get back to Duplass's house. It's fucking pitch black out.
And you're like, all right, that's the day. Time to go home.
Yeah, and that's how Aaron, our character, Bryce, he presents it to Duplass. And Duplass is like, no, I thought you'd come in, have a glass of whiskey, and celebrate the day, And I mean, this is what gets him killed, right? I think if he goes home right now, he probably survives.
You think so?
Yeah.
I don't know. Seems like this guy. I mean, I don't know. He has a lot of victims. You think all of his victims were? I feel like even if they leave, he still kills you.
I agree, but I think all of his victims like become friendly with him before he kills them. And to me, at this point, they're kind of still he's trying to force the friendship on it. Like he keeps saying we're friends and I love you and shit. But I think at this point they're still kind of work acquaintances. He might still kill him, but I don't know.
Yeah, well, he shouldn't have gone in for a drink.
He certainly shouldn't have gone in for a drink. Like, this was the first moment of the movie. I was like, this guy's stupid.
Especially, like, this guy's got to drive back. Once you have a drink, you've probably got to wait, an hour and a half.
And Duplass says that. Like, your blood alcohol is probably not right now. You should hang out, maybe stay over. And, of course, yeah, you don't drink a glass of whiskey for the road. That's not a thing.
Yeah, so he should know going in was a terrible decision.
Yeah, it's really bad. Okay, then Duplass has a revelation to deliver to you.
Yeah, what's this?
And he says, turn the camera off.
Oh, another jump scare, by the way. They go in for a drink. He comes in. He jumps out and says, oh, gotcha. Something like that.
I was starting to think around this point. I was kind of mad. I felt like I got spoiled by people that recommended this movie to me. Because everyone who told me about this movie said Mark Duplass is so great at being a creep, And he is. He's the best part of the movie. He's the MVP. But in this sequence, I started feeling like it could take a turn where maybe they were fooling us the entire time. Duplass has been telling the truth. He's just a little bit of a weirdo. And then the real creep, the real killer is Aaron.
So by people saying how good Duplass was, that ruined it for you?
It ruined it for me, yeah.
So you didn't know that Duplass was in Creep 2 as the titular creep?
I knew that he was in Creep 2, but I didn't know that he's the creep. I thought he might just have a cameo as like, his character from the first one or something. But
so it's like if Aladdin died in Aladdin, but then they said Aladdin 2 was called Aladdin anyway, but it was about the bird.
Well, here's the thing. Aladdin is the character's name. If this film
was Creep, that's his name.
No, if this film, that's not his name, asshole.
Yes, it is.
What does he say his name is in the movie?
He's Joseph.
Joseph. And if they called the movie Peach Fuzz, which was the original title of the movie, that would be telling me, all right, that's the dude we're watching.
Right.
But since it's called Creep and there's only 2 characters in the movie, I mean, who's to say the dude who's walking around with a video camera filming everybody isn't the fucking creep?
I understand thinking that at the time, but once there's a sequel out with the famous guy that you know, I feel like
I didn't know who was in the sequel. I knew Duplass was in it, but I didn't know that Patrick Brice wasn't.
Okay, all right. I'm sorry.
It's not totally your fault. Everybody did this. Like, I feel like
I never told you how good Duplass was specifically in this movie.
Well, a lot of people
I just said watch it.
Like multiple fucking people did.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
And listen, if you're one of those people, feel bad. No, one of them was my girlfriend. I don't want her to feel bad. But so
she also told you about his peen. She spoiled you twice.
What a fucking spoiler! I know. I'm just waiting the whole movie for Duplass to be a creep and for him to show his dick. That's all I'm waiting for.
Yeah.
And he didn't even show his dick in this one. But this scene kind of makes it clear that Duplass is a creep.
Right. If we didn't know,
because whether what he's saying is true or false, that's a weird thing to tell somebody.
Yeah, we're just hanging out having a good time. Why are you being a weirdo?
Yeah, so we see it in another fucking ridiculous contrivance. He just like, what does he put his jacket over the camera? Like the camera's still rolling.
Yeah, can I tell you what it reminded me of?
Tell me.
The part in Pop Star when they cover up the cameras and then that giant bee gets out and they're like, oh, we gotta kill the bee. And then they're like, did we catch that on camera? But they didn't catch it on camera. Great part of that movie.
That is all the parts of that movie are great parts.
Yeah, you're right.
But so he tells Aaron this whole story.
I have a problem with this story.
What's your beef with the story?
He says like he was like, I was talking to some guy about like my Wi-Fi issues, and they were like, well, if your Wi-Fi is slow, then you have to clear your browser history. Like what?
Well, I've heard that before.
Yeah, that's the main issue is clear. I've never really heard that.
Yeah, but you're downloading too much shit or something. Check out what you're looking at. Like maybe you're going on sites that are like automatically giving you too many cookies or something. So
just seemed pretty convenient.
It is convenient, but it's also funny, so I accepted it. So he says he goes to check his Wi-Fi, his browser history, and there's a ton of bestiality porn on there. Yeah. Sort of like my friend's dad. One time, me and my friend found a bunch of bestiality porn on his dad's computer. I won't say who it is, but he's probably listening right now. Hey, buddy.
Which one? The friend or the dad?
The dad.
The dad is listening right now?
No, the friend.
Oh.
The friend is listening. His dad had a lot of bestiality porn.
Wow, that's wild.
His dad had a lot of fucking creepy porn. I honestly think if we kept looking, we probably could have found some of that old CP.
Where is he? Is he like in jail these days?
Nope, just out there living his life, has a girlfriend, doing fine.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't even have a girlfriend.
Also, I think he boned my mom once.
What?
I'm pretty sure about that. When my parents were split up, I think he might have boned my mom.
Did she like have to wear a mask or anything?
No, I don't think so.
We don't think so.
One
You have no
time,
clue.
one time, this dad, I was at his house with my friend, and he pulled out
wait. This dad, you were at his house with your friend. That's a funny way to phrase that.
Well, it was his house. Well, because his parents were split up. So, like, sometimes we were at his mom's house, sometimes we were at his dad's house. So, we were at his dad's house. He pulls out a binder, and it's just got photographs of women in it. And he shows it to me, and he's like, "These are all the women I fucked." I get pictures of them all.
How old are you?
I was like maybe 17, 16.
Okay, but still, that's insane.
Yeah, it was wild. Anyway, he had bestiality.
He has
porn.
all of them. Like he never like accidentally missed out on one picture, and he's like, "Damn it, I don't have like Susie from
Possibly
4th of
but
July."
I think it seemed like he really made an effort. Like it looked like the women were just like posing. Like later that night, hang on, I gotta get a picture of you.
You think they knew what it was for? Like, hey, I have the scrapbook. Yeah, I have to like get a picture of you.
No, I mean,
No
I'm
way,
sure
right?
they didn't. I mean, I remember one time in high school, we had like our teacher was like out hurt or something, so we had like a special guest teacher for like 2 months. Her name was Miss Ortiz.
Isn't that called a substitute, not a special guest
but
teacher?
for a substitute, you usually have them for like a day or two. This
You
one,
live
like,
in
stuck
TV
around for a
world where
little
your
while.
substitutes are called special guest appearances.
No, so this lady, Miss Ortiz, I took photographs of her and I told her it was for the yearbook, but it was really just for me to jerk off.
Oh my god,
I know. But I never did. I never JO'd to them because I felt weird about it. That's honestly true.
Wow.
But I did have the pictures for a long time. Anyway.
How did that happen?
I'm the creep. I related to the creep. So Duplass, he says that after he found out his lady was into bestiality and she denied it, he like says he's going away to work for the weekend, and then he snuck in through the window and raped his wife wearing a wolf mask. And he said it was like his wife loved it.
Never been happy.
And then they never acknowledged it ever again. All right. So like you're thinking about this. How much of this did you buy? Like, did you believe he was married?
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of did too.
I believe all of it.
I kind of didn't believe the kid thing. I thought he made the kid thing up. And
you mean his whole story or just this part?
Like of his whole story.
I guess the first time I just believed everything. I just went on the ride.
I felt like he was probably divorced. Okay? Like he was talking about his ex-wife and they were unable to have a kid together or something. I thought it was going to be something like that. But it's not that at all. He was never married. As we find out in the second movie, where he says anyway, he's never even been kissed. He's a virgin who's never been kissed. And then we soon find out after this horrific story when he gets the phone call that that Angela is not his wife, it's his sister.
Dun dun dun.
Yeah. So that was a good twist.
Yeah, it was a good twist. Lots of good twists. And then you think you're watching footage, but then you're watching a TV and they're like showing you what's going on. Those are always cool in movies.
Yeah. But let me ask you a question about the sister.
Yeah.
The sister seems to know that her brother is dangerous.
Yes.
Okay? And so she tells Duplass. No, sorry, Duplass is the creep. She tells Bryce Aaron, yeah, to leave the premises. Just walk away. All right? But she's so cagey about it. And she also says she'll be there, doesn't she? I'll be there. I'll get you.
Yeah, she's just pretty vague about it all. She's like, yeah, just leave, forget your keys, just don't worry about it, just get out, keep walking. She needs to be like, he's a fucking psycho. You need to fear for your life. Run as far as you can. He's gonna kill you.
Which led me to
maybe
believe
she doesn't know.
I thought she might be in on it.
Oh, really?
But then there's no evidence of that in the second movie.
Yeah, I don't think so. Maybe she just knew he was weird. Maybe she didn't know he was a serial killer.
Yeah, maybe.
Surely not. She probably would have ratted him out to the police.
How does he not know he's killed 39 people? I feel like if my sister murdered 39 people, I'd at least know about a couple of them.
Like you had plans to go to the movies and she didn't make it because she was burying a body.
Right. Or maybe like he told her just about the first time it happened. Like I was seeing this great jam band and I met this dude in his car and he tried to kill me, but then I killed him and it felt
And then I woke up with a
awesome.
patch in my beard. I didn't know what that was all about.
Do you know the story behind that patch? This blew my mind.
The real story?
Yeah.
Like, no.
So Duplass decided for the second movie he wanted to have a beard. And then he was trimming it and he fucked up and just like cut a hole in the beard. and they just decided to leave it and they came up with an explanation for the movie.
All right, I love that. I did figure it wasn't real because I mean, obviously people have patches in it, but it was like a really big, blatant patch. Like you see it the first time you see him, basically, and you're like, "Oh, that's a patch," and then 5 minutes later they sort of bring it up.
Yeah.
But
It's possible it
that's
was
cool.
even smaller and like but it was still noticeable and they were like, "Well, let's make it bigger and say like
I
he
do assume that
self-harms."
happened.
Yeah. But what do you prefer, Duplass with the beard or without? With the ponytail or without?
I think he's a very handsome guy either way, even though he does look like a creep. Maybe it's because the first time I saw him was because of these. But I think it looks great with the beard and the long hair in the next one.
I think what Duplass is good at is playing a likable guy who has a darkness beneath him. Like I feel like even when you're seeing him in like romantic leads, you can believe he's like cheating on his significant other. There's like an edge to Mark Duplass, even though he's got this like likable nice boy face.
I feel like he's like a pretty big guy too.
Yeah. Like in the story he gives in the second one, like his origin story, he specifically says like the first time he killed, he was 15 years old, and he was really big for his age. And like the adult that tries to kill him, he said that he overpowers with his size.
Yeah,
And
right.
you're able to believe that because Mark Duplass is like a weirdly bulky dude.
I feel like they should put Mark Duplass in a movie as the cousin of John Hamm. Maybe not cousin. Maybe I feel like they could be relatives of one another.
I'm there. I'm
Go on
there
a nice
opening
little
night,
road
bro.
trip.
Yeah, Duplass and John Hamm on a road trip. I'll watch that.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. All right. So the next thing we see, well, there's that big scuffle, right? Like he's the keys are missing. Duplass runs away, and he finds him with the mask on, which is insane.
Yeah, he's like rubbing his butt on the door.
Yeah, I love that. I thought for sure that was the end of the movie.
Well, that's like an hour in.
Well, I wasn't really paying attention to the runtime, and I knew this movie was short as hell.
Yeah.
So
Probably like 40 minutes in.
yeah, I mean, I think the credits start going an hour 15.
Yeah, really short movie.
Yeah,
It's like Toy Story short.
it's shorter than Toy Story.
Really?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
It's like Dumbo short.
Yeah, that one's short.
All right. So the next thing we see though is Duplass pulling these garbage bags up a hill. And I was like, is that the end of the movie? He just killed him off screen and then he's in garbage bags now? But no, it's like a video. And then it starts his whole third act with Duplass sending DVDs in the mail to this dude.
You hated this part?
I thought it was the weakest part of the movie.
That was pretty good though.
I liked it once like Duplass shows up. Like the DVD goes through the bedroom window, like the last one, and then you see Duplass at the doorway.
Yeah, I sort of kind of wanted to bring. I didn't want to be like annoying about how that was shot, but I sort of liked it because Bryce is standing in front of the door, but you see blackness from like the night behind him. So you know Duplass isn't there because if he was, you wouldn't be able to see the night. You'd be able to see where Duplass is, and I guess I should call him Joseph. And then Aaron starts to move, and you sort of see if you like slow it down because I did. You sort of see Aaron or Joseph sneak up, like Mark Duplass sneak up for the shot. If you slow it down, it's kind of funny. But when you're watching it, it's just like really impressive how he moves, and then Duplass is in the frame, covering what was otherwise like vacant originally, so it's like
Right.
it's really well done. I really liked it. But if you play it, you can see him like being like, all right, move, all right, Mark, go, go, go. Like you could sort of like watch it that way. So
But
I really love that part.
but why after the incident with the third DVD through the bedroom window?
I don't know.
Get the fuck out of there.
Get the fuck out. And I don't know how the police didn't come help. Like he even says at one point, like, I have like DNA on this stuff, right? You can like check
No.
these CDs and this like
I
stuff.
actually
Wolf.
loved that detail because the police are worthless.
They would that you think they wouldn't come do
Oh,
that?
no way. No way.
That's terrible.
Yeah. I mean, what he should have said was like, I've got drugs. Come on over. They would have come.
Yeah.
Or like,
Uh-huh.
I hit a woman.
My neighbor is black.
It's a white woman. I hit a white woman. All right.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. All right. So and then like after this moment, he doesn't get killed until the next day. Why didn't he look back on his footage? You would have seen Mark Duplass.
Oh, that was another question I had. Was this guy's a videographer? Why he's never checking any of the footage he gets? He's just like constantly
know.
recording, never in the checking process.
There's just too many fucking issues. There's too many problems. I couldn't fully immerse in this film.
Yeah, and the part where he wakes up in the middle of the night and like, if anyone's ever done this, please let me know. But I don't know anybody who's woken up at 2:30 in the morning and walked out of their house down a dark alley. I don't think that's ever happened.
Yeah, when you know there's a fucking weirdo after you.
But he does it.
I mean,
Your review was spot on.
he's already gotten the fucking necklace, a heart pendant
That was sweet.
with like his face and Joseph's face in it. And it says J&A forever. By the way, the reappearance of that pendant in the second one, chef's kiss.
Oh, you like that?
Loved it.
It didn't really. I was thinking like, I mean, it didn't really mean anything, did it? Well, what's her name? Sarah. Her name's Sarah.
But because he comes up with it on the spot. He wasn't expecting to want to give her a gift, but he still has this gift because he stole it from Aaron's garbage bin. So when he gives it to her, I like that she opens it and sees the picture of Aaron, and he goes, I didn't have time to put a picture.
Yeah, that was good.
That's
I
good
think I'm
stuff.
gonna only look for women with the names starting with J or A, and then whichever I find, I'm gonna change my name to the opposite so that I can get that necklace made for us.
That's worth it for you?
I think so.
To change your entire life around this one prop from this movie?
For both movies, yeah, I do believe so.
Okay. Well, I look forward to it. Which one would you prefer to be, J or A?
A.
Yeah? What would your name be?
I don't know. That's the I don't know. So many more years to find out.
I don't know. Maybe you don't. You need to start thinking about it. You can meet your special person at any time, Logan. You never know.
Ari. My name would be Ari.
Oh, like the race car driver from The Bachelor?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Have you seen The Traitors, by the way?
Not yet, but I'm
None of it?
probably gonna watch it
By Friday or no?
We'll see, maybe.
Yeah.
But
I knocked it out in like a day and a half.
Yeah, I mean, they're only the Circle finale is out this week, so maybe I'll watch it like the night I usually watch The Circle.
That would be great. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really good. Really good. You'd love it.
Hey, it's got Alan Cumming. It's got Rachel Riley. It's got Sari Fields. It's got Ari Lewandike. I'm in.
Steph LaGrossa.
Oh, I didn't even
Like
know
her.
that one. I fucking love Steph
Cody
LaGrossa.
Calafiore.
I love Steph LaGrossa, and I love her filet mignon pizza.
Ryan Lochte. He's
What? Yeah.
And Brandy Glanville.
Do you remember when he got Yeah?
No, you
Trademarked?
told me about that. I didn't know about that.
Didn't I? I told you that really recently, didn't I?
Yeah, I didn't know about Chia.
Yeah. All right. Who was the other one you said after that?
Brandy Glanville.
She was on The Apprentice, I guess. But who was before that?
I think that was it.
Okay, whatever. Oh, Cody Calafiore, right?
Oh, yeah.
My brother Cody.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, The Traitors, check it out. It's on what channel?
Peacock.
All right. Hey, Peacock killing it right now with that Kevin Williamson movie
Sick.
and The Traitors. Get out of here.
Yeah.
Hey,
Oh, yeah.
by the way, I have an announcement to make. Kevin Williamson's back.
M. Night's back. K-Dub's back.
K-Dub is fucking back, bro. Oh my god, I loved that movie.
Yeah, really, really good.
I loved
Anytime
it.
I was like not on board, they immediately kind of won me back.
Yeah, and like the COVID shit, like was essential, undistracting, and genuinely funny. Like added something to the movie.
Yes, we'll talk more about it. But I agree. I loved it.
Yeah, we'll talk more about that Friday. Hey,
I'm
I'm
watching
watching here. Patreon.com/the franchise. Only $5. And don't wait till Friday because we got our Buffy show coming down the pike. This week we're covering episodes 5 and 6. Never Kill a Boy on the First Date and The Pack. All right.
Great job.
Thank you. Logan,
Yep.
he kills him with an axe.
Yeah, he does. He says, "Hey, I'm gonna be at this lake. Meet me." He says, "All right, why not?" He goes to the lake and dies.
He is the dumbest protagonist in horror history.
Yup. R.I.P. Aaron.
But Aaron,
Aaron.
I'm not even. Don't rest in peace. I hope you rest in pieces because he got killed with an axe. How about that?
But only once on top of the head.
But no. He swings back a couple more times.
Oh, did he?
Yeah,
Whoa.
yeah. Let me say though, this dude deserves to be dead.
Yeah, I agree.
Listen, you have bad self-preservation instincts.
Some people aren't meant to live.
You had like is that a Switchfoot reference?
What's that?
Remember that band Switchfoot? You were meant to live for so much more.
That's Switchfoot?
Yeah.
Switchfoot Engage? Is that what that's called?
No, Kill Switch Engage. That's a
Oh,
different
god
band.
damn it. Kill Switchfoot Engage.
Oh, good stuff. All right. But it was still a good scene. I liked that as the last scene of the movie.
Awesome scene. But whenever I posted, I don't know if you remember this, but last year I did a thing on Twitter, March Madness. You remember that?
Yeah, I do.
And whenever I would do it, Lord of the Rings one.
Oh, right.
Whenever I would do it, I would post photos of the franchises. And whenever I did Creep, I did a photo of Aaron sitting on that bench. That was like a shout out for the fans. If you knew what was coming, then you knew. But if not,
are you gonna do March Madness again this year?
I don't know. But would you like it?
I would like it, but it can't be for April because we have something planned for April.
Right, we would have to save it for May.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what do you think would win? Like Pirates or Transformers?
Something like that. Yeah, for sure.
I feel like one of those two would win.
Could be.
Or Bond with Henry.
Don't put that on the list.
I won't. That would definitely win.
Yeah.
I'm surprised. No, what happens if somebody wins a fantasy league and is like, "Hey, cover Bond with Henry"?
I'll have to talk to Henry and see if he can do it. Like that.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, I've been in contact with Henry. I talked to him last week.
But not about the franchise.
No. He doesn't even ask me about the franchise anymore.
What's his favorite movie of 2022? Has he told you that?
No.
Tar,
I'll try to find that out for you. Yeah, it probably is Tar, man. It's like classical music. It's Kate Blanchett.
He
Seems
has
right
to
up
love
his
that.
alley. I mean, there's like whole monologues in that movie
Or Avatar.
about Mahler, who I think is Henry's favorite composer other than Beethoven.
Yeah, he's so basic, like in Beethoven. The way he does.
By the way, I agree.
I was just joking.
Whatever, bro.
Come on, I can do that in my sleep.
Yeah, man. I mean, how about Walter Murphy's A Fifth of Beethoven? Now that's a song.
Yeah, that one's good.
That was a disco remix. All right, Logan.
Yep.
I give this movie a 3.
Oh, something I didn't like.
Oh, tell me.
At the very end, when it cuts back to him, it also ends in a jump scare, right, where he screams at the camera. But his line where he says, "This it's fine when he says you'll always be my favorite. That's fine." But then when he says of them all, and you're like, oh, a little thick. I thought just saying you'll always be my favorite implies you've had many. I don't need him to say of them all.
Also, then he puts the tape in like a huge cabinet full of a bunch of tapes, so that tells you there's a bunch.
Yeah, I didn't need the of them all.
You're right. The of them all is unnecessary. By the way, I read that there's 57 tapes in that cabinet, but in the next movie he only says he killed 39 people, which is correct. Which is correct.
I feel like we have to go with the second one.
We might find out in Creep 3, because after Creep 1 came out, Duplass announced that Creep was going to be a trilogy.
After the first one he said that?
Yeah, after the first one he said that.
Why has it been so long then?
Well, they were going to do all 3 back to back to back, but then like they were both doing other shit. Duplass was working on the HBO show Togetherness, which was very good, ran 2 seasons and then got canceled because HBO's an asshole. And then this dude did The Overnight. So I think they were just doing other shit. Then they reunited for Creep 2. And then I read they're having like some problems coming up with a good idea for Creep 3. I feel like they should have just made Creep 3 during the pandemic, man.
Yeah, that
COVID
would've been a great
creep.
time. COVID creep.
Yeah. Dude, Creep
I give it a
19. Oh, you went down from a 5, did you?
Yeah, I'm not gonna give it a 5, but I give it a 4.
Interesting. I wonder how many other films you've given a 5. You'd go down to a 4 if you rewatched them.
Probably a lot.
Yeah, and then you might have to start Let me ask you a question. This got a 4. Chinatown got a 4. 2001: A Space Odyssey got a 4. What's the other one?
Network.
Now, rank these movies.
2001, Network, Creep, Chinatown.
Fuck you.
Wasn't even hard.
Fucking asshole. All right. Fine. Anyway. MVP. I mean, it's so hard. It's almost not worth it to do MVP, LVP to these movies because
Duplass.
they're
I'll go
two-handers.
Duplass. No, I'm going Duplass's wife, LVP.
Oh, God. No way.
Who is he going to pick? Him? Patrick Brice? He directed the thing. I don't want to go him.
Duplass MVP, LVP.
Peach Fuzz?
That's funny. And I like Peach Fuzz.
He's a rapist, though.
Well, the guy in the mask is a rapist. Let's not blame Peach Fuzz.
Yeah, you're right. So, yeah. So can Joseph not be our MVP then?
No, he's our MVP. I mean, because it's the best performance in the movie. Like, it's not really worth it doing an LVP, to be honest. But
all right, well, I went with the wife anyway.
That's fine. I'm not giving Katie Hazelton an LVP. I like her.
Me too.
But all right. But I mean, Duplass is clearly the star of the movie. The movie doesn't work without Duplass.
She should have been like, I'm not going to sign on if it's just us 3, because then I might be the LVP. But let's get a 4th one. She should have tried to argue for a 4th character so she wouldn't be the LVP. But she didn't do that, so she's the LVP.
Can I ask you something? At the beginning of the movie, we are told the date that they're filming, like the date that this is supposed to take place.
I didn't catch that.
It says March 21st, 2012.
Okay.
How come nobody's talking about St. Patrick's Day?
So this is in the past.
Yeah.
Why? Would you know that was the exact St. Patrick's Day that day?
Isn't March 21st St. Patrick's Day?
It's always the same day?
I want to say it is.
I thought it was like the 3rd whatever, and I have no idea.
Look it up.
Some of those are like that.
Please look it up. I lost my phone. Oh, wait, I just found it.
I'll tell you, I have Creep between El Mariachi and Miss Congeniality.
Oh, for your year?
That's right.
So El Mariachi better than Creep in your mind, a movie you once gave a 5 to. Well, I'll tell you
2023, it's March 17th.
Yeah, I see.
So I don't know if that's every year or if
I think it's every March 17th. I had the date wrong.
All right, what an idiot.
Fuck you.
That's a pretty forgotten holiday, St. Patrick's Day.
Well, it's forgotten if you don't care about drinking, and it's very prominent if you do.
Yeah, I guess you're exactly right.
I used to. I mean, but I'll tell you what. When I was at my biggest alcoholism, when I was in the deepest, I hated St. Patrick's Day because that was amateur holiday. Like all the fucking idiots who can't hold their liquor out in the bars on that holiday. I'm there holding fucking court every day, bro.
Yeah, that's really funny.
Yeah. All right. Let's move on to Creep.
That should be a movie. Like the real hardcore alcoholics are just pissed when all the St. Patrick's Day people raid their bar one St. Patrick's Day.
That would be a good.
They cause a revolution to get back at them or something.
And then they should be the heroes the whole movie. And then at the end of the movie, one of the dudes who's puking should be like, "You're the real loser, man. I just do this once a year." All right. Anyway.
Wait. So the people that are St. Patrick's Day celebrators are the real heroes?
Yeah, that's what I would do.
Wow. So make the alcoholics the villains?
Well, they're not the villains, but it's just sort of we're rooting for them. And then you're like, oh, should we be rooting for them? They need to get their lives together.
Yeah, all right. So real mess. I like that. That's good.
All right. Somebody write that. All right, Creep 2. Let's talk about it. When did this come out? I forgot to write it down.
2017,
But when?
October 6th.
Oh, so they put this one out in October. They were like, they anticipated people are gonna want
It's
to watch
Halloween.
this for Halloween.
It must be
yeah.
Creep.
That should be the new thing. Man, Saw. I can't believe there's a new Saw coming out this year.
Oh yeah, get fucking pumped, bro.
Dude,
Saw X, right?
Yeah, Saw X. I hope we get to see old Jig. I hope we get to see Mark. What's his name? Eric Matthews.
Eric Matthews.
I hope we get to see Luke from Gilmore Girls, even though he died. I hope.
Should we call Mark Wahlberg?
Yeah, I think that maybe was because it's Donnie Wahlberg. Oh, all right. He's hanging tough. Let's talk about Creep 2.
Yep.
Bryce is back to direct. Patrick Bryce, whose name's Patrick too, like St. Patrick's Day. And then Mark Duplass. He's co-writing and direct.
Yeah, they got a script.
and
They said, let's take
starring.
it serious this time.
Yeah. They wrote a script for this one, but I think there's a lot of improv in this one too.
Yeah, for sure.
And they get Desiree Akhavan as the female lead. Now
Let's get Melissa McCarthy for the next one to do a bunch of her improv.
Oh, I think that's a great idea, bro.
I think she would be really good.
Yeah. Why don't they should get Wayne Brady in on the next one.
Wayne Brady, Melissa McCarthy, and Mark Duplass.
In Creep 3.
The trifecta. Wayne Brown's going full.
Thanks, bro. He's great. He's my favorite improviser. So fucking hell. Creep 2. So this Desiree Akhavan, you know much about her?
Nah, from this movie, no.
So she's sort of a jack of all trades. She acts a little bit. I knew her as an actor, and I didn't know that she was a filmmaker as well, because she has a little arc on season 4 of Girls. Yeah. Lena Dunham goes away to like grad school in like Iowa, I want to say. And she's like one of the students in her class. How about that?
Okay. Wait. Okay. Who's your favorite girl?
My favorite girl on Girls?
Yeah, Allison Williams.
Probably Lena Dunham.
Oh, really? She's your favorite one?
Yeah, Allison Williams was my least favorite at the time, but I'll tell you what, she's having like the best post-Girls career of any of them.
I would say so, for sure.
Between Get Out and
Two hit
Mithrigan,
films.
and now I'll tell you what, Mithrigan.
Well, Adam
2
Driver.
Oh, well, that's true. Yeah. But Mithrigan 2 has been announced, Logan.
Yeah.
And I got news for you. My girl, Allison Williams, my least favorite girl of girls. No, she's better than Zasha Mamet. We'll give Zasha Mamet the worst. But she's spoilers for Mithrigan. Close your ears for just a second. She survives that movie. She's going to be in the sequel.
Wow. Well, people could know she survives, or she's in the sequel and doesn't even survive. That was your logic from Creep 2.
Motherfucker, I didn't know the prominence of it. None of the actors are on the poster.
I think you're lying. I'm pretty sure Mark Duplass is on this poster, like front and center.
I never fucking noticed that. And listen to this. Karen Sony is in the opening credits of Creep 2.
Yeah.
And he's dead before the opening credits. So anything goes in this franchise.
Anything goes. Yeah. You're right.
Yeah.
Who's making these? Ryan Johnson. He's subverting expectations left and right.
Is that what Ryan Johnson does?
Oh yeah, that's his big thing.
I guess so. All right. Yeah, you think it's gonna be a Y in his name? It's not. It's not.
That's great.
Yeah. All right. But Desiree Akhavan, she's also a filmmaker. She made Appropriate Behavior, which I remember getting a lot of buzz, and she did a BBC show called The Bisexual, which she also stars in, I believe. I think she's also the star of Appropriate Behavior. And then that Miseducation of Cameron Post, which is about gay conversion. They're trying to make Chloe Grace Moretz not a lesbian anymore. All right. I mean, it is Cameron. That's the name of the character. And what else? Now she's directing TV, having trouble making her own shit, I guess.
That's pretty cool. She made her own stuff.
Yeah. She directed 2 episodes of I Love That For You with Vanessa Bayer on Showtime, which I watched every episode of. So I've seen her directing work.
Okay. And you like it?
Yeah. She lives in Brooklyn. I sadly never came across her on a dating app.
Well, you're not on Raya. She's probably on Raya.
Oh, you're probably right, motherfucker. God damn.
Yeah.
Raya. Raya's got all the good shit, man.
I was gonna bring
And
up
The Last Dragon or something.
Wait. Oh, that's funny. At the end of this movie, he's following her on that train, and he's like looking at her on the camera, and it says like the A train to Brooklyn. I was gonna bring that up, but I guess she's from Brooklyn, so
That was my train.
yeah. I was gonna ask
I
if you
took
missed
the A
it.
train every
Can you
fucking
smell
day.
it when you think about it?
Yeah, it smells like hot garbage.
Did you have a favorite seat? You're like, this is my seat.
Well, I always knew where I wanted to get a seat, but it's hard to really get it on that train. But the A train runs express, so like eventually people get off and you'll get on there. But
You ever give your seat up to a pregnant woman?
of course.
Probably not.
Oh, fuck you. Of course I did.
Okay,
But I'll tell you what I never did. Gave my seat up to an old lady.
Oh,
You
yeah, fuck
stand.
you.
You stand, old lady. But if you're pregnant, you can sit.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you.
Thank you. You know, one time I was on the subway in New York, and these two old ladies came on. It was like 7 in the morning. I'm on my way to work. I'm miserable. Okay. There's only one seat open next to me. They decide they're going to try and fit in that seat together. All right.
What?
So they're just like crushing me into the barrier. And you know what I did?
What?
I got up and I called them the C word.
Both of them?
Yeah.
Wow. Did you specify? You should have said, you're a C word. And then both of them are like, what, me? And they don't know who you're talking to. And then they're confused the rest of the day.
No,
Like, did I get called the C word?
I
by
think
that guy?
I think I used pluralized C word.
Holy shit.
Mm-hmm.
That's good.
That's how mad I was. I was probably your age when this happened.
Wow.
Yeah.
I would never.
Still remember it to this day.
Yeah, I bet.
I guess I don't call that many people the C word. It doesn't come up that much.
And I feel like back then it was like if you heard that word, it would be even crazier than today. Like that word like didn't exist back then. I feel like.
No, it did. It was just like I feel like it even had like harsher in implications.
Right, like it meant more when you. Today, I feel like people just say whatever today.
Yeah. I mean, that word is always like kind of meant nothing. It's in England, like overseas, that's just like a curse word. But here, I feel like at some point that was like the N word for women.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, I used it. Never. All right. Fucking Creep 2. Starts with a cold open. That surprised me.
Yeah.
I mean, the second it started, I was like, I think this is a cold open. But I was still surprised that they were doing that. So he gets to kill a guy. It's sort of like a Scream movie. Or even a Sick movie.
Who dies in the opening of Sick?
What are you talking about? There's a cold open in Sick, bitch.
Oh, yes.
It's a great cold open.
I was thinking about her just getting in that fan at the beginning.
No. There's
Yes,
something
you're right.
before
right.
that starts a
Kissing
grocery
booth
store.
guy.
Yeah. Wait, that guy's
was
in the
fun.
kissing booth?
He's like her loser. He's like not Jake. What's that guy's name? Is he Jacob Elordi? He's not Jacob Elordi. He's the brother. Yeah.
Wait, he's like the one that she's
Her best
friends with?
Yeah. You didn't notice that?
Whoa! You just
Yeah.
blew my fucking mind.
So it's even more like Scream than you thought. Because when I saw it, I did think he was going to be the star of the movie. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Well, I'll tell you what. Makes me love that movie even more, using some kissing booth alumnus.
But I didn't think he would be the star because I knew it was also a Kevin thing, and I knew the way it was opening, he was going to die. But I did think like, oh, this is cool.
Yeah. No, the star
He's also
of
in
it
another
had-
movie I saw, F the Prom. It's like F star the prom,
Yeah,
whatever.
I've seen that.
I saw that movie.
No, the star of Sick is Nepo baby Gideon Adlon.
That's right.
Yeah. Fucking
good.
Nepos. They're
I like her.
everywhere. Are either of these guys? No Nepos in the Creep franchise, I'll tell you that much.
You gotta watch The Society. Maybe not anymore. You probably missed the boat on The
I
Society.
think it got canceled, didn't it?
Did it?
Yeah.
I probably because season 2 probably would have happened, but I liked season 1. That was pretty good.
Yeah, I wanted to watch it at the time, and then I just never did, and then it got canceled.
Elvis's wife in the new Elvis movie. You gotta watch Elvis, by the way. It's
What? You
fucking
gave it a 1, bro?
I know. I was never bored though. I was always into it though.
Really? It was
So-
it was like outrageously bad?
I thought so. Some people were. Tim gave it a 5, I think.
But I get annoyed by that shit, man. Like Bohemian Rhapsody, I gave a 1.
That's worse. I think that's worse. This is just like I don't think
Hey,
this was
hey,
a.
hey, hey,
Wait,
more
we'll
on
talk
this.
about it.
Yeah, listen, if you want to hear more about Logan talking about Elvis,
Elvis,
fucking
but
pony up some $5, bro. Patreon.com/the franchise.
his wife Priscilla, right?
Priscilla Presley.
Right. She was played by a girl from the Society. Also, the sister from The Visit.
Hey, did anyone play Lisa Marie in that movie? Because she just died this week.
Wait, who is she exactly?
That's one of Elvis's daughters, or maybe his only daughter. I don't know.
I kind of don't even think so.
Hey, can I ask you one Elvis question? Can you just confirm or deny this?
Yeah.
Do we see Austin Butler fat?
We see, like, are you familiar with like that iconic final performance or whatever, where the guy's holding the microphone and he sings the song?
Yeah.
You familiar with that? Well, I don't even think I think that's like real Elvis. I kind of don't even think so. I don't think so.
Do we see?
It's like 3 hours of
Let me
not
ask you this,
fully
though.
Elvis'
Let me ask
life.
you this, though.
It's weird.
Do we see Austin Butler die on a toilet?
No.
Oh my god.
And that's the reason.
Well, that's offensive to me. Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna show one moment from Elvis's life, I would say show when he shook his hips on the Ed Sullivan Show or whatever. But if you're gonna show a second moment from his life, dying on the toilet for sure.
Yeah, that's for sure number 2. The shaking the hips part, that's a good part of the movie, I thought.
Yeah, I mean that's a cool thing he did.
Yeah.
That's what he's remembered for, shaking his hips on TV.
And there ain't nothing but a hound dog.
Oh yeah,
right, old time.
Track 1 on the Forrest Gump soundtrack, if I remember correctly.
Have you heard the Doja Cat version of that song?
No, what the fuck?
Look it up. I remember hearing it at the time, and I was like, "This is an insane song." And then I found out that it was in the Elvis movie, and I was like, "What? That's in the movie?" And then I watched the movie, and like with all the context, it's no better. It's terrible. It makes everything you're watching just you can't watch it because they put that in the movie. It's like everything's a joke, basically. It's insane.
Well, yeah, I know. Hey, by the way, shout out to Elvis King 1. I know he's not listening anymore, but one of our all-time greatest listeners.
Yeah, we love you.
I know you don't love us anymore, but we still love you.
Hey, we love you. Thank you very much.
Ooh, I love that look. Maybe you should have played Elvis.
I should have, yeah. By the way, we brought up during Christmas Chronicles that Kurt Russell should have played the Tom Hanks character. And after watching it, I agree that Kurt Russell should have played the Tom Hanks character.
Yeah, he should have. It would have made sense. Tom Hanks
He's
played Elvis a few times.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, let's not talk shit about Tom Hanks, though. He's a great man named Otto. Okay. So Encounters is a show on YouTube, not in real life, but in the context of this film, that is hosted by our new female lead. No ladies. The first one was a real sausage fest. Now we've got a female lead.
The wife on the phone.
What? Shut up. It's not even the wife. It's the sister.
My OVP. Well, I mean his wife in real life.
Yeah. So what's this character's name?
Sarah.
Right, Sarah.
No H.
There's a song by Bob Dylan called that, and when he first said like that's the name of my favorite song, I assumed it was that, but it's so much better than that. So she hosts a show called Encounters on like YouTube, I gather.
Yeah,
and it's
like a web series. She says.
Yeah, she's answering Craigslist ads.
I think a pretty cool idea for a show.
I wouldn't watch it, but it's a good idea. It's a good hook.
Yeah.
Bad name, Encounters. It should be called.
What would you call it?
I would call it Craigslist.
Really?
Or Craigslist Encounters.
I feel like you can't do that. You might get sued.
Oh, you might be right. You might be right, bro. What do you say? Personal.
I'm fine. I didn't have beef with Encounters. You're the one that had beef.
I mean, to me, if I'm tuned into Encounters, first of all, it sounds like Perspectives by Lionel Osborne, the great Tim Meadows sketch. But it also, if I would think it'd be about aliens. Encounters.
Well, you have movie brain. Not everybody has a movie brain.
It's not movie brain. There are aliens, bro.
Yeah, but when you think of Encounters, you think of Close Encounters. Not everybody does that.
I mean, what do you think of the first thing you?
That's what I think of because I also have movie brain. But if you talk to everyone else, it's like talk to like your third cousin and say Encounters. They're just like, what does that mean? They're like, oh, when you like bump into somebody and you see them. That's what they're gonna think probably.
But that's not even what this show is about. She's answering ads. The hook is that she's answering ads on Craigslist. So the title of the YouTube show should reference that.
I have no beef.
All right, listen. The Franchise. That's a good title.
Yeah.
That tells you what it is.
Exactly what it is. We talk about franchises.
That's all we do.
Not all we do. We talk about Buffy. We talk about other movies.
That's on the
Hey, I'm
Patreon.
watching here.
That's for the people lucky enough to spend $5 a month.
They're not that lucky. They just have to do it.
No, they are lucky. I think The Franchise is like our third best show now.
I completely agree. Sometimes I think like I can't imagine like only knowing us from this one show a week. You know.
I can, but I mean that's for people.
That'd be so weird.
That's for people who don't give a shit about us. Like they're in for movie talk,
right? Which we haven't really done.
Yeah, it's for those people. This has been kind of a bad episode.
Worst episode of the year so far.
Yeah. All right. So she encounters on Craigslist an ad that the Mark Duplass character has put up. And it's like,
and this is her last one. She's been like getting no views, and she's like, "All right, this is the finale."
Yeah, that's right. Sorry. The best line of the ad was "Fans of Interview with the Vampire a plus."
Yeah, that's good.
Are you a fan?
I'm a fan, sure. If I had to pick like fan or not a fan, I'd definitely say fan.
We gotta cover that for the franchise.
That's a franchise?
Yeah, because the character Lestat by Anne Rice is in both that and Queen of the Damned. I think we could do those two as a franchise.
Tim alerted me to something. He didn't
Tell me.
alert me to it. I just noticed it on his Letterboxd. I don't know if you and Henry ever talked about this, but we could do Forgetting Sarah Marshall and get him to the Greek.
Yeah, that was on my list with Henry.
That would be awesome. I never once have ever thought about that making lists, but Tim was absolutely right. That's a franchise.
Anytime you want, bro. All right. So she decides she's going to answer this ad, even though it seems creepy. She says, maybe I'm not putting myself in creepy enough situations, and that's why the show's boring.
Yeah, take some risks.
Take some risks. That's what we should do, bro.
Yeah, like what?
I'm not sure.
Do Top Gun next week? That's a big risk.
That's not a risk. That's going to get listeners. All right.
This is a risk. No one's going to listen to this. Creep.
That's a good point. Yeah, fuck it. We're risking
this
right
is
now.
The risk.
Yeah, and we're barely talking about it. All right.
Yeah.
We're risky podcasters, bro. So, she finds the house that he's staying in. I assume this is a rental too.
Yeah.
And he's in the kitchen making a green juice. All right. Looks good, actually.
Yeah.
And he describes it, and it sounds good. Like, I would drink this green juice.
Are you serious? From a stranger you just met on Craigslist? There's no way. That's like immediately number one. The first dumb thing she does is she
I got news for you.
the...
After a long drive, I'm walking into a house. Somebody's offering me a beverage. I'm drinking it.
I don't know. She should have stopped at a gas station like 30 minutes out before she got there. Get a little drink.
But she said she didn't know how remote this was going to be. Maybe there was no gas station.
All right, good call.
Thank you.
She's parched. I can get behind it.
Yeah. She's like, let me just say yes to everything. It's like she's using the first rule of improv, Logan. Yes, and a rule Wayne Brady is very familiar with.
Yeah, you're right. And he does say later, he brings up like a book about like how to like as a like an interviewer or whatever, how to like schmooze and like lie and just go along with everything. So that's what she's doing here.
Absolutely.
She's just playing along.
Yeah. So Duplass immediately admits to being a serial killer. He says he's killed 39 people. And she doesn't buy it, right? But she's like, this is interesting at least.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And that's when Duplass says, let's both... There's always a barrier. I like how he put it. There's always a barrier between men and women wanting to see each other naked. And frankly, I agree.
She did too.
Yeah. And so they decide to show each other themselves naked. Duplass gets fully nude, hanging dong. It's pretty impressive, to be honest. Not bad.
His dong?
It's soft and it's long.
Long dong.
Long dong, yeah.
All right.
Didn't he just win no, sorry. That was short round.
What?
Sorry.
Come on.
All right. Excuse me. Okay. So then she gets naked, but he's got the camera and he's zooming in like an asshole.
Oh no, that's very nice. Asshole for you.
Yeah, I want to see some shit, man.
That's a nice guy move, though.
Yeah, but I'll tell you what, you do get a glimpse of her pit hair.
Yeah, I knew you'd like this.
Holy fuck, dude. That gave me a nice old happy.
The pit hair alone.
Yeah, just the pit hair, dude. I didn't see any boob.
Oh my god.
All right. So he does his old standby, takes her out into the woods.
Yeah.
Classic.
Old reliable.
Old reliable, yeah. But he's all fucked up and he like throws a tantrum.
Can I tell you his
It's
other
not
reliable?
going right.
His other
Tell
reliable
me.
thing? Getting in water. He loves just like submerging himself in the water. In that first one, he does tubby time.
Yeah.
And they go to that little heart lake thing.
Yeah.
And then in this one, they go to that one place where it's like low tide. And he's like, oh, I thought it'd be high tide. And he just sits in that. And then he also sits in that jacuzzi. and
yeah,
talks
right
about-
right afterwards. Like he
loves
runs home
the-
and immediately
he
goes
loves
into a
water.
jacuzzi. Yeah.
It's nuts, this guy.
And she gets in there with him. I'll tell you what, that halfie blossoming into a full. And
It lasted through 2 scenes?
No, I'm just joking now. But I wasn't before. Okay. She gets in there, massages him, and he's listening to a song, Logan.
Yeah.
His favorite song of all time, as he tells us.
Mm-hmm.
Sarah loves her juicy fruit.
This is a real song?
No.
Okay.
No. But it's perfect. All right. It's supposed to be a jam band that he saw in the 90s. Okay. And I've heard some jam bands from the 90s. Okay. I'm familiar with Widespread Panic. I'm familiar with Fish. I'm familiar with Mo. I'm familiar with the String Cheese Incident. I'm familiar with the Tragically Hip.
Isn't
all
it a
right?
string cheese incident engage?
No, that's Kill Switch Engage. And it's Switchfoot. So they but I'll tell you what, they just nailed this shit. The song plays again over the closing credits,
Oh.
and I like stayed and listened to the song, and then I had the song stuck in my head for a little while after the movie.
Add to your playlist?
Oh, if it's on Spotify, I might add it to my fucking
It's gotta be on
playlist.
Spotify. Why wouldn't it be?
Because it's not a real song.
Well, it is now. They made it for the movie.
I guess so. Here, let's look it up. Sarah loves. It came right up, bro.
Yeah. What band did you say?
It's like a fake band. It says Albert Natural on here. Let's. Oh, you just like play it over this part.
Yeah. That'd probably be better.
Sorry, I'm coughing. All right.
Oh, I got something. Then she goes, she's like, I'm gonna go take a shower. And
Yeah.
he goes
I'm
to
like,
follow her.
I'm like, great, another opportunity to see this lady naked, and we still don't.
No, she jumps. She does a jump scare. She jumps out with like tape on her face and is like,
Yeah.
"Bleh." But
I liked it. I like
Why
how
is
many
she-
times she scares him in the movie.
yeah, now she's the creep. Little did you know, she's the actual creep. But why is his about? I mean, I guess because he's a creep. But his bathroom, it has red lighting. It's all completely red.
Yeah. You know
So
what it might
creepy
be?
it is.
My mom's bathroom growing up. She had like a bathroom sticking out of her bedroom. Like her own.
That was red.
No, but it had two lights in it, okay? And one was a heat lamp, okay? And that was orange. So it was like if you turned the real light off, but you turned the heat light on,
Yeah,
it was this creepy orange room.
that's pretty neat. This
Yeah.
seemed like red lights.
Yeah, I think it was there because we're watching a horror movie. It's gonna be spooky.
Well, it was pretty spooky.
Yeah. So he tells her,
Hey, I know about your knife.
"Oh yeah." He
Because she had a
kinda-
knife in her boot. We
Right.
didn't bring that up.
not a snake.
Yeah.
Like Woody. He says that his plan is for her to kill him.
Right. Yes.
So first he like lays face down on a table and has her chop his head off with an axe, but she can't do it, okay?
No.
Then-
little pussy.
He jumps off of a balcony or the second floor of this house and hangs himself. And it's like, well, you gotta save me if you want to save me, but don't. Then you're an accomplice in my murder. But she saves him. So it's another thing where like the person who ends up getting targeted has like a million opportunities to get away. She could have chopped his head off right there.
Right. And he wasn't even hanging himself, right? He had the harness, so he actually wouldn't have died in that one.
Yeah, that's true. But how was he going to save himself from the axe?
I guess he was just depending on her being nice, not killing him.
Yeah, I mean, great depending. He nailed it.
Yeah.
He also now, after that, like, they're getting closer together. And he claims that he's a virgin and he's never, but he says, like, like that movie Never Been Kissed? I've never been kissed.
Well, he says he should have written and directed that movie.
Oh, yeah, that's right. And I really think he should.
Yeah, you can get on board with that.
Mark Duplass remaking Never Been Kissed. He could play the David Arquette role himself.
Really?
All right. Yeah.
I feel like he's a little old for that.
You think he's a little old for that? All right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, whatever. He could play a teacher. He could play that creepy teacher who's gonna fuck her.
What? There's another one that's not him?
Listen, the whole premise of Never Been Kissed. David Arquette's not a teacher in that movie. He's Drew Barrymore's brother.
Who's the teacher?
Michael Vartan.
Oh, yeah.
From TV's Alias, and also the male lead in Jennifer Lopez's Monster-in-Law. All right? But in that movie, Drew Barrymore is undercover as a student at the school. So he thinks she's a student. All right? But there's all this sexual tension between them. And then it's like at the end of the movie, he finds out like she's an adult, and he's like, well, I must have sensed that all along. Listen, you're not getting out of this. You wanted to fuck a student that entire movie.
That was like the thing at the end. He's like, oh, I knew it. That's what was going on. I knew she must have been an adult.
Exactly.
That's why.
That's the justification of them getting together at the end of the movie.
They do get together? Like that's how it ends?
Yeah, they end
like
up together, I believe. Yeah.
Well.
But there's a scene where he's on the Ferris wheel with her during like a school carnival, and it's like, bro, first of all, she's supposed to be a student. You shouldn't be on a Ferris wheel with her.
Yeah.
And then they're at the top of the Ferris wheel. They almost kiss.
Yeah, that's
right. That's creepy.
Mm-hmm.
It might be the second sexiest Ferris wheel scene in movie history.
Yeah, Fear.
Yeah, Fear, of course.
Is it a Ferris wheel specifically?
No, it might be a roller coaster, actually.
Yeah, I always forget.
All right, it's a sexy Ferris wheel scene, though. That scene in season 1 of the OC when Marissa and Ryan are at the top of the Ferris wheel. That's good shit, man.
I never saw that.
Yeah, you can get up to that.
No.
All right. What do we got? Oh, so she kisses him.
Yeah, they kiss.
Yeah.
Very touching moment.
It is a little touching. And then he regifts her that necklace, which I loved. All right. But then we go to the big action climax of the film in the woods. Old Reliable.
Yeah, they fight. They stab each other. Lots of stuff goes down.
He stabs himself first.
Yeah, like a bunch, right?
Yeah, and his plan is he's going to then have her kill herself, and then they're going to die in a grave together. He compares them to Romeo and Juliet. But then he climbs out of the grave after stabbing her, and he's like, oh, I don't want to die.
I was just kidding.
Do you think his intention was to die, though, at first?
I mean, he talks about how, like, at the beginning, how he, like, lost his motivation to kill, but then
that's the most interesting thing about the movie to me, is that it's not just a redo of the first movie. It genuinely seems like the character from the first movie is going through some sort of midlife crisis.
Right.
And he's just, like, he's not killing out of fun anymore. And so, like, his experience with her is to try and rekindle his love for murder.
But what was it that did it? I don't know if I really buy his transformation into wanting to kill again exactly.
I think that he genuinely becomes close to her. Like, I sort of buy that he's never really had an intimate relationship with a woman. And now, like, this woman is showing him a kindness that he hasn't been shown in a long time.
Shouldn't that mean he should go toward the kindness and not toward wanting to kill more, though?
No, but killing is his favorite thing in life,
Oh,
and she's giving him his passion back.
okay. All right.
Yeah, that's the sense I got. I mean, he says Aaron is his favorite person up until that point that he's ever killed. And it's because Aaron like went along with everything. Like he was always just willing to do the next thing and be his friend weirdly. And that's the same thing that's happening here really.
Okay. Found another companion
Yeah.
that he must kill.
Yeah, so but he doesn't. He tries to kill her and then she comes out with a shovel. Whack.
Bang! Right on the head.
That's great. I thought he was dead, but then there's that ending.
On the A train.
Yeah, it's like he's filming. You don't see Duplass, but you see a video camera like filming her from afar, and then you hear that little whistle that he does.
Yeah, that's a great whistle.
It's good, yeah.
Yeah. And so what's gonna happen? I doubt she'll be in the next one, right?
I hope they do a next one. Yeah, I'm down for Creep 3.
No, but I doubt it'll be her. Like,
Oh, no. Yeah, I think she should be dead.
dead? Do you think he killed her?
Yeah.
I thought she just like got away, but he's
No,
just
no.
like out there, both out there in the world.
No, I think that he's tracked her back down and he's gonna kill her.
So he doubles back around when he messes up.
Yeah,
Like Final
absolutely.
Destination. He
I mean, that's
gets you no matter
kind
what.
of what happened in
I guess so. He went
in
home and
Creep
then kept
1.
getting him.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess you're right. You're right. This is just like in the middle. You're right. So Creep 1, we saw the full story of Joseph. This one,
Right.
we just saw her go back home and then it ended.
Exactly.
That's interesting. So great point. Great point.
Thank you. I like this one more. This is.
I don't think
4
I
to
do.
me.
I also go to 4, but I'm not sure that I do. I just think, I mean, even though watching these, it's hard watching these when I've seen them both like 3 or 4 times because you know exactly what's going to happen. But I think the part that works the best is the first one. You don't really know what's going on. And the second one, I think you just know a little more, but you're still on it. I tell you what, I don't like. I don't like the whole Coppola thing.
I do. I think
Like,
it's funny.
I don't really know what he was talking about.
Because he's saying like Coppola lost his ability to make films. Okay, like Coppola became
Original films, but doesn't he make like original after the conversation?
but Coppola's saying a different way. Like he's saying that in his early days as a filmmaker, he was doing stuff that had never been done before in movies. And now he's making dramas and comedies that are using like established film language. And he's trying
Jack, that's original.
No, it's not.
The Rainmaker,
Yeah, that's a John
Tetro.
There were like a million John Grisham movies in the 90s, bro.
Twixt.
I never saw that one.
Yeah, me either.
But I'll tell you what, I do like a good Twix.
Yeah. Oh, me too. Me too.
Yeah.
Left Twix all day. For
Absolutely. It's probably my second favorite candy bar.
Sure. Really? What's your
Yeah.
first favorite?
Milky Way.
Milky Way.
Yeah.
Snickers is way better than Milky Way. Like, if
But
you're
I don't like nuts.
really,
Yeah,
Does
I
it
don't
matter
eat
what
anything
kind?
with nuts. No, it doesn't matter. I hate all nuts.
so what's the difference between Milky Way that just doesn't have the nuts? It has like the nougat and all that shit.
Chocolate, nougat, caramel. All you need, bro. Frankly, I like just like a Hershey Special Dark. Just a nice bar of dark chocolate. Give me that.
Oh yeah, you like dark chocolate. I
Yeah.
don't really like dark chocolate. What
Well,
about
you know, you're a
Three
Philistine, that's fine.
Musketeers? Is that the same as Milky Way? I feel like those are
no,
the exact
no
same.
caramel. It's just all nougat inside.
Wow.
Yeah,
you're expert.
Milky Way jacks it up a little bit. Let's get some
But then
caramel
Snickers
in
jacks it up more. But you say no, dial it back.
dial. Yeah,
Too
that's
hot, too cold.
much.
That one's just perfect.
That's
what
right.
you say. Milky Way just perfect.
Yeah, it's almost like Snickers. You're getting into the realm of like F9, where they're in space.
you like Fast Five.
Yeah, I Milky. Yeah, yeah. See, the Three Musketeers like Too Fast, Too Furious,
I knew you were gonna
And-
say that one.
and then the Milky Way is Fast Five. The Snickers is F9.
I love it. I absolutely love it.
Yeah, and then by the way, Milky Way Midnight, Hobbs and Shaw.
I don't even want to try that one. I don't want to get into all
Well,
that.
you don't like dark chocolate, man.
No.
All right.
I
What a
have this.
film.
I have this one between Creep and Miss Congeniality.
It was better than Creed. I loved it. I also thought that Desiree
Glad you liked them.
Desiree Akhavan was a much more engaging lead than Patrick Bryce, and not just because I found her smoking. Actually, at first, I got news for you. I thought she was trans when the movie started. I looked her up. Like I looked her up on Wikipedia to find out if she's trans.
Yeah.
She has kind of a deep voice and like a jawline.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
but she's not. I would have been into it either way, but
Yeah. No.
she was born a lady. All right.
She your
what's-
MVP?
I think I am giving her my MVP.
I think I
yeah.
am too. I really liked her also.
Sweet. LVP.
Liked her hair too.
Oh yeah, purple hair. Good.
And I just
Good
watched
look.
Kimmy where she's got blue hair, so that was pretty cool.
Yeah, man. Kimmy's great.
Yeah,
I'm glad
really.
you gave that a high grade. But
Yeah, I
don't
really
don't
liked
say what don't patreon.com/the franchise.
I
All right?
think
That's what you gotta subscribe to if you want to hear us talk about these sweet current movies, baby.
if I had to pick between Kimmy or Emily the Criminal, I think I might go Kimmy,
Ooh, interesting.
but it's pretty close.
It is close. Those are close.
Yeah, I was thinking about that at the end. I was like, ooh, Kimmy or Emily the Criminal?
I'm gonna go Emily the Criminal, but not by a lot at all.
Kimmy was just like so. I mean, Soderbergh. It was just like so expertly made. Everything. It was so.
Yeah,
great.
I know. Soderbergh. So I feel like Soderbergh could do a movie like that in his sleep, and that's really impressive. But I feel like-
LVP.
Oh, okay.
And DeBlas. What do we do?
Mm,
Oh,
I-
I'll go the guy at the beginning. The kill when he kills the guy, the taxi driver from Deadpool.
No, I like that guy. You know who
Well, who you gonna pick?
I'll say when when she's going to all those different people's houses to
Yeah,
like
which one?
interview them. There was that
The
big
baby?
bearded guy. No, not the baby. The bearded one who has like a Marilyn Monroe poster in his house. I didn't like that scene.
Okay, yeah, I remember that. He's like, "Oh, you don't like Marilyn Monroe?
Yeah,
All right, that's fine.
that's my.
I'll agree with you. I'll pick that guy."